Now I understand why you call Australia Oz, because we truly are at the end of the yellow brick road. What an adventure we've had. I have flown over the crystal blue waters of the Great Barrier Reef. I watched the sunset at Uluru, one of the most sacred places on earth. Received this beautiful necklace from the Aboriginal people. Even climbed to the top of the Sydney Harbour Bridge. And after being here for a week, this I know for sure, I love Australia! I love Australia! I love Australia! Woo! Woo! It's so great here. And to the rest of the world watching right now, you've got to come to Australia! That's for sure! I don't know what it is with you Aussies. I said this earlier. You're so darn friendly, you must go to friendly class around here. Help me say a big good day to my 302 American viewers! I don't think there's a more beautiful stage on earth than the world-famous Opera House, surrounded by Sydney's majestic harbor. Well, just yesterday, we were actually sailing smack dab in the middle of all of this. We had a full-fledged regatta going with 25 boats, and my first mate was a very famous Aussie. Welcome, hometown Oscar winner Russell Crowe! It's a wower.
Cool.
All right. So we're going to have to talk over the helicopters, it seems.
Okay. Can you hear us out there?
Can you hear us?
Cool.
So somebody told me that you live close enough you could have actually walked over if you wanted to.
I did walk over.
You did walk over?
Yep. I just scared the hell out of a security guard around the back there when I turned up because it wasn't in his brief
really?
that I'd be just popping over.
Popping over.
So, we had to make a few phone calls, open the gate, and we just walked around,
Because there's a bloke outside says he's Russell Crowe. Yes. And it wasn't he. You know, we were sailing yesterday. I love saying this to people. You know, as I was sailing with Russell Crowe, and I was telling you how much I really love this country. Mm-hmm. What is it about Sydney, particular, do you think?
Well, Sydney is a combination of things. There's enough people here that we get the best of the arts and entertainment and stuff from around the world. I mean, obviously you went to U2 last night, so we get all the big gigs and stuff. But there's also a sort of, the city's grown up over a period of time which keeps it relatively close around this body of water, you know. And that's the other thing about Sydney is the physical beauty of the city.
Yeah.
You know, the key about Sydney, though, is being relaxed about everything, you know. If there is an epitome of the no worries, it's about Sydney, you know. It's about connecting with the water of the harbour. It's about connecting with the beaches, you know. And that's, you know, when you live in a city like this, it's not that hard to be friendly.
Not that hard, would you say? I learned, somebody was telling me, when I was at a taco party the other night in Melbourne, somebody was telling me about, they're my taco buddies, they were telling me about something called tall poppy syndrome.
Yes, the tall poppy syndrome. I'd be a lot taller if it wasn't for the tall poppy syndrome.
What is that?
We just have a particular thing here that, you know, the natural growth of plants shouldn't necessarily be respected. Yeah, if the head of your flower gets above the rest, off it goes, you know. But
it means getting your head's too big, right?
Well, it doesn't even require that. It's just simply, if certain circumstances happen in your life and you do actually get, above the pack, chop it off. But the thing is, we are an egalitarian society. We had a Prime Minister that held the Guinness Book World Record for drinking a 7-ounce beer at one stage. So, it is a pretty laid-back place. So I can kind of understand it, and you come to accept it. I mean, you do find it in other places as well, but they just don't call it the tall poppy syndrome.
Well, when I was over I had that taco party. It was some very nice tequila over there at Megan and Paul's house. And we were talking about, I surprised them with that party. And they gather every week with their friends, and they have this sort of taco party. But one of the things that came out when we were talking about what it's like to be an Australian, someone said there that they think Americans live to work where Aussies work to live. Do you agree?
Let's not worry about my opinion. We'll just go with theirs.
Yeah. But there's that feeling of people work, but they want to work so that they can be able to spend time with their families, and that is a part of the life balance.
Yeah, I think over time, though, there has been an increase in a sort of certain level of seriousness. I mean, there's been a lot of people achieve great things out of this country. So I do think that there's a balance in that. But yeah, I think we put family and friends and having fun, that's pretty high on the priority list if it's not the first thing.
That's great. That's what I love. That's why everybody's so kind of open, right?
Yeah.
And what do you think is the biggest difference between Australian men and American men?
Probably dental care.
I've seen a lot of great-looking Australian men. It was so funny. When my friend Gail and I went camping, she was saying, maybe I'll find a camping man. And I said to her the other day, maybe you need to find a Aussie man. A lot of great-looking guys here. So this was so great. Last night when I went to see U2, I'm walking through the stadium, and I see the Rabbitohs.
Really?
I saw the Rabbitohs door,
cool.
And I knew what I was looking at.
Cool.
Russell is the co-owner of the National Rugby League's South Sydney Rabbitohs. You grew up cheering for this team. That's what's so amazing.
Cool.
Yeah.
I was a fan of the team for a very young age.
So you grow up cheering for a team, and then you end up being a co-owner of the team.
Yeah, something like that.
Cool.
That's the way it goes. But when I was a little kid, I know that there's something of the fact that South Sydney were a winning team when I was a kid.
Yeah.
That stayed with me, And, it's been through a lot of ups and downs, the side. But I believe that if I can get that team back to the place of being a winning team, it's going to be very inspirational for this generation of kids in the South Sydney district.